Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Wednesday, April 27th, 2022. Today I'm going to recap yesterday's NBA playoff, NHL, and Major League Baseball games, look ahead to the games for tonight. I'll do my what teams should do version of the mock draft. Masked Singer and Survivor tonight. I'll preview each show, news and notes, and best bet. All right, we'll start with the playoffs in the NBA. 3 games last night. We'll go over to them all. We'll go ahead to the 2 games that are being played tonight. Heat over the Hawks, 97-94 to clinch out the series. No Jimmy Butler in this game. He got hurt. Victor Oladipo, 23 points. DeAndre Hunter had a great game. 35 points and 11 boards. Grizzlies over the Timberwolves, 111-109 on a game-winning shot layup by John Morant as they take a 3-2 series lead. Morant had 30 and 9 assists. Karl Anthony Towns had 28 and 12. And the Suns over the Pelicans, 112-97, take a 3-2 series lead without Devin Booker. Mikal Bridges, fantastic game, 31 points. Brandon Ingram had 22 and 5 for New Orleans. All right, now we look ahead to tonight's games. And first up on TNT at 7:30 of the Bulls and the Bucks. It was just announced that Zach LaVine has entered the health and safety protocols for the NBA, which it's not good for the Bulls when they're facing elimination tonight. He's listed as questionable. So, not a guarantee he's going to play. But let's just make a case he doesn't play. He's health and safety protocols. And Caruso's questionable too. That could be up to, my projection could be up to 8.5 without LaVine and Caruso, which is wild. And with those guys, it's 4.5 because of no Chris Middleton. My total projection is 224 and 11/20. And it's up to 12 and 217.5. Whoa. They really, I guess, think that both those guys are out. That's what that line is trying to tell you. Even without Middleton, that's crazy. But I still kind of like the over. I think there's a chance that Milwaukee pours it on a little bit. I'm not taking the 12 with the Bulls. No way. Unless if maybe LaVine plays, then I'll consider it. But for a same game, I'll do the Bulls and the over. Take a case like Bulls season on the line. I don't know if they'll absolutely just roll over. But I will take the over for my pick here. And the second of 2, 10 o'clock on TT, Nuggets, Warriors. Warriors could close out Jokic and the Nuggets here. I project Golden State by 7.5 total, 220.5. And it's 9 and 225.5. I'm going to go with the under. Both of these teams' defenses will show up at some point, right? I think Draymond Green will play better than he did in Game 4. I think that there's a possibility of Denver missing some shots. So, the money line and the under in the Golden State-Denver game would be my same game. So, for that game, I'm going to go with the under. So, I'm going to go with the over in the first game and the under in the second game, as I expect both the Bucks and the Warriors to close out tonight to advance to the Eastern Conference semifinal. All right, now move on to the NHL. We'll recap last night's games and look ahead to tonight's games, which we may see some clinching going on. Bruins over the Panthers 4-2. Sens over the Devils 5-4 in overtime on a game winner by Drake Batherson. Lightning over the Blue Jackets 4-1. Hurricanes over the Rangers 4-3. It's the Hurricanes clinched the Metro Division. Oilers over the Penguins 5-1. Isles over the Caps 4-1. Maple Leafs over the Red Wings 3-0. Flames over the Predators 5-4 in overtime on a game winner by Matthew Tkachuk. Coyotes upset the Wild 5-3. Stars over the Golden Knights 3-2 in a shootout, and it took 7 rounds to get it done. Miro Heiskanen with the winner. Stars don't clinch yet. Avs over the Blues 5-3. Canucks over the Kraken 5-2, and the Ducks over the Sharks 5-2. Now I look ahead to tonight's games. We have 5 games. 7:30 meaningless game. Flyers Jets from Winnipeg. Jets minus 205. Flyers plus 168. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 115. Flyers plus 1.5 is minus 150. Jets minus 1.5 is plus 125. I like the over in that game a lot. Now a meaningless game between the Canadiens and the Rangers. Rangers have the number 2 seed locked up in the Metro Division. But if you're New York, you want to finish with more points than the Lightning in case of a potential series between them. So it's not technically meaningless for the Rangers. They're still playing for seeding, like conference finals in case they play Tampa, but meaningless for them. They really don't need this game. Rangers minus 375, Montreal plus 290, over under 6.5, overs minus 102, unders minus 120. Canadiens plus 1.5 is plus 114, Rangers minus 1.5 is minus 137. I'm taking the Montreal on the puck line. The Rangers, if they won last night, then this game would have been a little bit more meaningful, but it's not. They lost. I'm going to say Montreal plus 1.5. I don't know if Montreal will win the game outright, but I just think this game will be close. 8:30 Golden Knights Blackhawks. Vegas trying to keep its season alive. They're minus 215. Blackhawks plus 176. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 108. Unders minus 112. Vegas minus 1.5 is plus 125. Chicago plus 1.5 is minus 150. I'm going with the over. And then the Stars host the Coyotes. The Stars are minus 550. Arizona's 4-1. Over under 6. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. Stars plus 2.5 is minus 113. Dallas minus 2.5 is minus 108. I took Arizona puck line yesterday and it worked out. I'm doing it again. They won outright at Minnesota, which was impressive. I don't think they'll beat Dallas. I think that that's not right. I just looked at the 2021 clinchings and there he goes. Oops. So I would guess if Dallas won in any fashion, or if they got a point, they can't get a. I think they have to get a point tonight to clinch, because their magic number is 1, and they gained those 2 points last night against Vegas, but they couldn't get the full 3 because Vegas earned the point for it going to overtime. But that said, I'm going to go Arizona puck line plus 2.5. I'm going to say Dallas wins, but it's close. And last but not least, 10 o'clock, Kings Kraken. The Kings clinched last night because of Dallas's win. And Nashville clinched too. Kings minus 178, Kraken plus 146, over under 6, overs minus 120, unders minus 102. Kings minus 1.5 is plus 146. Seattle plus 1.5 is minus 178. Kings are still playing for the 2 seed. But I think this could be a letdown after a clinch. I'm going to go with the Kraken outright at plus 146 against the Kings. All right, now we'll move on to Major League Baseball. Last night's games we'll recap, and we will look ahead to today's games. Brewers over the Pirates 12-8, Pods over the Reds 9-6, Mariners over the Rays 8-4, Phils over the Rocks 10-3, Yanks over the Orioles 12-8, Mariners over the Nationals 5-2, Blue Jays over the Rays 6-5 in 10 on a walk-off sac fly by Raymond Tapia. Marlins over the Nationals 5-2. We talked about that one already. Oops. Royals over the White Sox 6-0. Did I pick the Royals outright in that game? No, I think I took the first 5. Braves over the Cubs 3-1. Twins over the Tigers 5-4. On one of the craziest walk-offs you'll ever see. Miguel Sano hit a single. Trevor Lawrence scored on a throwing error by the catcher, Eric Haas. Gio Urshela scored on an error. I believe that it was the same error. And then Sano went to second, and then the Twins got it done. And now the Twins are over 500 on the year. Mets over the Cardinals 3-0. Astros over the Rangers 5-1. Angels over the Guardians 4-1. D-backs over the Dodgers 5-3. And the Giants over the A's 8-2. Now we look ahead to today's games. 1:15 of the Mets and the Cardinals. Carlos Carrasco and Steven Matz. Cardinals trying to avoid being swept here. Mets are minus 122. Cardinals plus 104 over under 7. Overs minus 106. Unders minus 114. Mets minus 1/2 is plus 155. Cardinals plus 1/2 is minus 92. I'm taking the Cardinals on the money line plus 104. It'd be so Mets to lose to Steven Matz. Right? I'm taking the Cardinals. 2 o'clock, Royals, White Sox. Zach Greinke and Dylan Cease. White Sox minus 198. Royals plus 166. Over under 7. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. Royals plus 1/2 is minus 146. White Sox minus 1/2 is plus 122. I'm going to go with the Royals' first half run line plus 1/2 at minus 102. That's a different one. I don't think I've ever done a plus half on the run line first half yet. 340, the Dodgers and the D-backs. Julio Urias and Zach Gallen. Dodgers minus 184. D-backs plus 154 over under 8. Overs minus 102. Unders minus 120. D-backs plus 1/2 and Dodgers minus 1/2 is minus 110 each way. I'm going to go here with the tie first half at 5-1. 6:30, Brewers Pirates. Aaron Ashby and Bryce Wilson. Brewers minus 180, Pirates plus 152 over under 7.5 minus 110 each way. Brewers minus 1/2 and Pittsburgh plus 1/2 is minus 110 each way as well. I am gonna go with the over in this game. I think that Aaron Ashby might see some progression. Maybe Pittsburgh's bullpen gives up some runs. Maybe Bryce Wilson gives up some runs, but I like the over. Padres Reds. Mackenzie Gore and Vladimir Gutierrez. Padres minus 180, Reds plus 152. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 108. Unders minus 112. Padres minus 1/2 is minus 111. Reds plus 1/2 is minus 108. I'm laying it with the Padres. The Reds are so bad. Padres run line is a play. Mariners Rays. Marco Gonzalez and Drew Rasmussen. Rays minus 144. Mariners plus 122. Over under 7.5. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 115. Mariners plus 1/2 is minus 178. Rays minus 1/2 is plus 146. Tough one. I like the over. Marco Gonzalez is like a hit or miss type of guy. And I could see him not having the great start. So I would go over 7.5 minus 105 there. 6:45, Rocks Phils. Ryan Feltner and Ranger Suarez. So Ryan Feltner is going to make his big league debut. The Phillies are minus 230. Rocks plus 190 over under 8. Overs minus 114. Unders minus 106. Rocks plus 1/2 and Phils minus 1/2 is minus 110 each way. I'm going to go over 4.5 total runs first half at plus 102. I really, really like that one. 7 o'clock, Orioles, Yankees. Tyler Wells and Jordan Montgomery. Yanks minus 250, Orioles plus 205, over under 8, overs minus 112, unders minus 108. Orioles plus 1.5 is minus 111. Yankees minus 1.5 is minus 108. I'm going with the over again. I think that the Yankee offense, with its last 2 games, it's shown its potential at home and the crowd. Anthony Rizzo's red hot. I think the Yankees could do this by themselves. Although they did it by themselves last night, but the Orioles could have done it by themselves. There was a surprise that they put up an 8 spot in that game. But I like the over in that game. With the team, the Yankees, 22 runs in their last 2 games after a pathetic start to their offense this year. Marlins Nationals, Pablo Lopez and Eric Feed. Marlins minus 146, Nats plus 124, over under 7.5. Overs even money, unders minus 122. Marlins plus or minus 1.5 is plus 122. Nats plus 1.5 is minus 146. I'm going over 7.5 and even money. This is banking on one of the bullpens imploding. And the Nationals self-combusting too. Red Sox Blue Jays, Michael Wacha and Ross Stripling. Blue Jays minus 148, Red Sox plus 126, over under 8.5, overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Red Sox plus 1.5 is minus 160, Blue Jays minus 1.5 is plus 132. I'm going to go with the over. I think Michael Wacha will see regression, and Ross Stripling's not off to the best start. 7:20, Cubs Braves. Mark Leiter Jr. and Charlie Morton. Braves minus 10, Cubs plus 176, over under 8, overs minus 114, unders minus 106. Cubs plus 1.5 is minus 128, Braves minus 1.5 is plus 106. I love the Braves run line here. Leiter Jr. sucks. Morton is better than what he's been. I kind of love the Braves run line. Next up, 7:30 Tigers Twins. Michael Pineda and Joe Ryan. Twins minus 196. Tigers plus 164, over under 7. Overs minus 124, unders plus 102. Tigers plus 1.5 is minus 137. Twins minus 1.5 is plus 114. This is a tough one. But I'm going to go over 3.5 first half runs, minus 114. I think Michael Pineda stinks. I think he looked so good in that game because it was motivation for him pitching against his former team who wasn't hitting a week ago. So I'm going to go over 3.5 first half runs. 8 o'clock, Astros Rangers. Christian Javier and Glenn Otto. Astros minus 112, Rangers minus 104, over under 8.5, overs minus 104, unders minus 118. Astros minus 1.5 is plus 138, Rangers plus 1.5 is minus 166. I'm doing Astros money line minus 112. I'm surprised that they're only this short of a favorite. I love the Astros. 9:30 Guardians Angels. Zach Plesac and Shohei Ohtani. Great pitching matchup. Angels minus 220, Guardians plus 184, over under 7.5. Overs minus 104, unders minus 118. Guardians plus 1.5 is minus 120. Angels minus 1.5 is even money. I'm going to go with the Guardians first half run line plus 0.5 at plus 116. And we don't have on FanDuel up yet. Maybe DraftKings has the last one, 9:45, the A's and the Giants. Paul Blackburn and Sam Long. So the Giants have a chance here to continue their red-hot start. Here we go. They're minus 145. A's are plus 125, over under 7.5. Overs minus 105, unders minus 115. A's plus 1.5 is minus 170. Giants minus 1.5 is plus 150. Blackburn's pitching great. I'm going with Oakland plus 125 to knock off the Giants. To, amazingly enough, get over 500. Alrighty, now move on to golf. We have another tournament coming up. It is the Mexico Championship for $7.3 million from the Veneta Velarda. So the tee times. 8:45, you have Davis Riley, Aaron Ray, Lucas Hodges, Vincent Taylor. I'm just going to go through notables. 8:56, Patrick Rogers, Bryce Garnett, Sadi Kadiara. 9:07, Aaron Smalley, Danny Lee, Austin Cook. 9:18, Richie Wierenski, John Rahm, Lucas Griffin, Charles Howell, the third camp champ. 9:29, Jensen Pong, Ches Reveet, Brendan Todd, Patrick Reed. 9:40, Aaron Weiss, Nate Lashley, Link Lebiota. 9:51, Sahith Thiglia, Camilo Vegas, Pat Perez. 10:02, Wyndham Clark, D.A. Points, Adam Schenk. 10:13, Brandon Haas, Vincent Whaley, Bo Van Pelt. 10:24, Mariano Gillick, Grayson Sigg, Brandon Wu. 10:35, you have Dolly Vanderwalt, Dylan Wu. 10:46, you have Chase Seifert. 1:45, you have Mark Hubbard and Tommy Gainey. 1:56, Matt Wallace, Rafa Cabrera, Chris Kirk, and Ben Martin. 2:07, Scott Stallings. 2:18, Abraham Answer, Tyler Duncan, Kevin Na, Matt Jones, Tony Finau. 2:29, Carlos Ortiz, Nate Taylor, Matt Thompson, Gary Woodland, Lucas Donald. 2:40, DJ Tran, Kevin Stroman, Adam Long, and Anirban Lahiri. 2:51, Cam Triangle, Brock Sword, Russell Knox, Emiliano Grillo. 3:02, Kramer Hickok, Adam Putnam, Sam Piercy. 3:13, Adam Svensson, Roger Sloan. 3:24, Cam Thompson, Ben Cole. 3:35, Joseph Brumlett. And 3:46, Seth Reeves, Andrew Novak. So nobody really monstrous in this tournament in terms of star power. The biggest name you probably have is John Rahm, who's an overwhelming plus 450 favorite. But I'm going to go value here. I like Patrick Reed at 32-1. I think he's due to come through. I like Patrick Reed. And a tournament like this, I think that he can come out and perform. So I'm going to go with Patrick Reed at 32-1 to win the Mexico Championship. All right, the theme of my mock draft today is what teams should do. Like, here on the board, what I think each team should do. So, without further ado, here we go. In the what teams should do 7th edition of my mock draft. Number 1, Jacksonville. I think they should take Aiden Hutchinson, defensive end, Michigan. A lot of momentum is going towards Walker. Walker's even the betting favorite at this point. But I think they should go with Hutchinson. I feel like he's the safer play. Number 2, the Detroit Lions. Kayvon Thibodeau, defensive end, Oregon. Yes, I think they should go Thibodeau. I think he's the second best player in this draft. High upside. I know people don't like him. But that's what Detroit should do. Number 3, the Houston Texans. Evan Neal, offensive tackle, Alabama. The Texans have a ton of needs. Going with the safe bet like Neal is smart. Number 4, the New York Jets. Ahmad Sauce Gardner, corner, Cincinnati. The Jets need pieces in their secondary in the worst way possible. Gardner just is a perfect Jet. Number 5, the New York Giants. Ike Ekwonu, offensive tackle guard, NC State. The Giants go with a versatile offensive lineman. They play both positions. Better probably suited for a tackle, so they have somebody to go with Andrew Thomas in the trenches. Number 6, the Carolina Panthers. Charles Cross, offensive tackle, Mississippi State. I like Cross too. I think Carolina needs linemen. If anything, they should take a quarterback in round 2. Oh, wait, is that the pick they traded for Sam Darnold? I think it was. That's funny. Or maybe they trade up for one or trade back. What they should do, what Carolina should do is, trade back to, 18 in the Philly spot and have Philly move up. Try to pass the Giants for Trayvon Walker or Stigley or somebody like that. Or they trade back to so they get the 2 Philly picks to move up. That, I think, is really realistic. Or Houston comes back up with 13 in one of their seconds and takes Trayvon Walker or Stigley or something like that. But really, Carolina, what they should do is trade down. But I don't like to project trades in the box, so that's really, really hard and confusing. But if they stay at 6, they should take Charles Cross. Number 7, the New York Giants from the Chicago Bears. Or here's another thing. Somebody else trades up for Charles Cross. Like Houston, if they were to take, say, Gardner with the 3rd pick, So 7, the New York Giants from the Chicago Bears. Trayvon Walker, defensive end, Georgia. I like Trayvon Walker, but to me he's more of a project. So that's why I really don't love the idea of him going 1st overall. But him going 7 to the Giants, I like. I feel like the right spot for him. Number 8, the Atlanta Falcons. Garrett Wilson, wide receiver, Ohio State. I think Falcons should go wide receiver here and wait till later round to draft a quarterback. Wilson's amazing, and they need top-end receiver talent after losing Calvin Ridley to the suspension. Number 9, the Seattle Seahawks from the Denver Broncos. Derek Stingley Jr., cornerback, LSU. This is a little bit of a curveball. I think Seattle has needs all over the roster. I like Stingley. He could come in and play with the guys they currently have in their secondary. So I like that pick for Seattle. Or Seattle trades down and somebody like Minnesota comes up for him. And then Seattle trades back to 12 and gets some other stuff. Number 10, the New York Jets from the Seattle Seahawks. Drake London, wide receiver, USC. There's a lot of buzz that London's going to be the pick here. The Jets need a wide receiver to help the development of Zach Wilson. So I think London makes sense. Number 11, the Washington Commanders. They go with Jameson Williams, wide receiver, Alabama. The only reason why I didn't have Williams to the Jets and London to Washington was because I think that there's a possibility the Jets throwing their hands up regarding Williams is turning ACL, so they're going to go with the more healthy player here. And things I have from my sources, even though this is what teams should do mock draft. And plus, I like the fit of London with Zach Wilson better than Williams with Wilson. because of the injury stuff. And at least Washington, you could say, oh, we have Terry McLaurin. I know the Jets have Corey Davis, but he has to stay on the floor. And Elijah Moore, I'm not convinced is a WR1 either. And so there's more uncertainty with the Jets wide receivers than Washington. So that's why I think the Jets should go with a safer bet here in terms of a healthy player standpoint. Washington, though, Williams, good fit. But the thought of Williams and Terry McLaurin together, I think, is wonderful. And I think that it'll take Williams some time to get right. But he'd be so great in Washington, regardless of who's at quarterback. Number 12, the Minnesota Vikings. Kyle Hamilton, safety, Notre Dame. If they play this right and let them follow them, great. Good job on Minnesota. They fill a need and a future need as the long-term replacement for Harrison Smith down the road. Number 13, the Houston Texans from the Cleveland Browns. Jermaine Johnson, defensive end, Florida State. I think he is one of the more overrated players in the draft in terms of talent. I think that he belongs in the teens or in the 11 range, per se. 11, 12, 13. I like the Houston fit for him. So, I also do like the Jets fit at 10. But I think the Jets' greater needs at wide receiver and to help Zach Wilson. And Houston just needs best players available. Number 14, the Baltimore Ravens. Jordan Davis, defensive tackle, Georgia. Jordan Davis, really solid player. I think a perfect Ravens type of player, experience from the championship team with Georgia. Love it for them there. Number 15, the Philadelphia Eagles. Chris Olave, wide receiver, Ohio State. This is a big year for Jalen Hurts and an evaluation point for him. So I think Philly needs to build a solid foundation around him for him to succeed this year. Number 16, New Orleans Saints from the Philadelphia Eagles via the Indianapolis Colts. Treylon Burks, wide receiver, Georgia. I think that the Saints landing Burks here is really good. I think that they need somebody to go alongside Michael Thomas to be catching passes. Number 17, Los Angeles Chargers. Tyler Linderbaum, center, Iowa. Chargers could go anywhere here. Really, they can. And I like Linderbaum. I'm higher on him than most. Chargers could use anywhere on their line. And that's probably the weakest spot of their team. And getting a guy in the middle, a young guy in the middle, I think is really important. Number 18, the Philadelphia Eagles from the New Orleans Saints. The Kobe Dean, linebacker, Georgia. I like this call for Philly. I like Dean as a player. Very freaky and athletic. Was obviously on that great Georgia front seven. 19, New Orleans Saints from the Philadelphia Eagles. Malik Willis, quarterback, Liberty. I don't love many of the quarterbacks in this draft. Honestly, I don't have that many players with a round one grade in this draft. That's how I feel. I have 23 players with a round one grade. 23. And all the quarterbacks I have, like, going in my what teams should do mock, I have round 2 grades on. But I think there's a reason why the Saints made this trade. Willis does have some upside, so why not take a chance? Number 20, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Desmond Ridder, quarterback, Cincinnati. I like Desmond Ridder a lot. For a guy that I have a round 2 grade on. He's somebody that I think would be better than what they had last year with Ben, which is unfortunate. And obviously I think Mitch Trubisky would be better than Ben last year too, and Ritter can come in and learn from Mitch, and maybe Ritter's the guy for the future. Number 21, the New England Patriots. Andrew Booth, cornerback, Clemson. New England needs secondary help with the departure of J.C. Jackson, and Booth's been in a lot of big games, so I like this pick. Number 22, the Green Bay Packers from the Las Vegas Raiders. Jahan Dotson, wide receiver, Penn State. Like I said, Green Bay needs to come away with the receiver. Dotson, I have a round 2 grade on. Not a round 1 grade, but I still think that they need to come away with a wide receiver in this round. Number 23, the Arizona Cardinals. George Karlaftis, defensive end, Purdue. I think this is a great pick, a good fit for Arizona. Karlaftis, I have a round 1 grade on. I think that he would just come in and help replace Chandler Jones' production. Number 24, the Dallas Cowboys. Trevor Penning, offensive tackle, Northern Iowa. Need pick for Dallas. Future need pick, I should say. With Tyron Smith getting older, they got to start recouping that position. Penning, I have a round 2 grade on, but he's my highest rated round 2 graded player, if that makes any sense. I like this pick for Dallas a lot. 25, Buffalo Bills. Trent McDuffie, cornerback, Washington. Corner's a need for Buffalo. I think they're intending on drafting on a corner. And McDuffie, ironically enough, not to step on my draft player rankings list, is my last round 1 graded player, if that makes any sense. I like McDuffie. I think he can come in and start Buffalo alongside Trey White. Number 26, the Tennessee Titans. Devin Lloyd, linebacker, Utah. Lloyd I also have as a round 1 graded player. I love Lloyd, super athletic player. I think Tennessee needs some linebacking help and help in their front seven, so good pick there. 27, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Kenyon Green, guard, Texas A&M. This is a need pick for Tampa. I like Green a lot. I have him as a round 1 player. Like I said, I only have 23 players with round 1 grades, and that's a detriment on how I feel about the draft. But Kenyon Green can come in and start right away, replacing Ali Marpet and Alex Kappa. Number 28, the Green Bay Packers. Devontae Wyatt, defensive end, Georgia. Love Devontae Wyatt. Love the pick for Green Bay. He can just come in and start right away. He's versatile. I have Wyatt as a round 2 graded player, but a highly rated round 2 player, if that makes sense. Number 29, the Kansas City Chiefs from the Miami Dolphins via the San Francisco 49ers. Christian Watson, wide receiver, North Dakota State. Need pick for the Chiefs. I like Watson a lot, despite coming from a smaller school. I think that he can help replicate the loss of Tyreek Hill. Number 30, the Kansas City Chiefs. Christian Harris, linebacker, Alabama. This is a name I haven't heard yet thrown out as a first-round pick, but if there's a surprise name in there, I think it should be Harris. Playing for Nick Saban, a ton of big games. Was highly touted, but was often injured. He could just come in and start for Kansas City. 31, the Cincinnati Bengals. Zion Johnson, guard, Boston College. I like Zion Johnson. You could argue that the Bengals should go corner here, but their goal of this offseason was to help protect Joe Burrow at all costs. So I think they complete that goal with the drafting of Johnson, and he can really help them on the interior. Number 32, the Detroit Lions from the Los Angeles Rams. Matt Corral, quarterback, Ole Miss. Detroit goes with Corral here, who I don't mind, but he has some upside and really has put together some good numbers in college. All right, that's it for the mock, and now move on to the Masked Singer. Should be a fun show tonight. Last week's show was epic. Although I went on a rant last week about its ending because I didn't think what Ken Jeong did was right. And it gave the show a bad look. So the characters for round 3, which is, I'm calling it Group C, there was a prince. They showed like a workout session. There was a teddy bear, lily pad, a ring, a Mars ball. They're doing a lot of reaches and bendings. 2006. So maybe 2006. And this person performed Cup of Life by Ricky Martin. I think it's A-Rod. He does not have a daughter named Lily. That's where I screwed up. Maybe he has a niece named Lily. 2006, I believe his daughter was born. One of his daughters were born in 2006. Ironically, Jenny said A-Rod too. Robin said Derek Jeter. And Ken said Enrique Iglesias, which would be a fabulous get for the Masked Singer. Celebrity BFF, Jamie Lee Curtis. Baby Mammoth. Ice Age, pink hair, strengthening confidence. There's a 2 badge, a cheer mic, a blow dryer. And then there's like conditioner and shampoo. So maybe this is somebody that's on commercials for products like that. And this person performed Walking After Midnight by Patsy Cline. I think this is Niecy Nash. The 2 badge, she was the second host of The Masked Singer. Get it? Because she filled in for Nick Cannon. I think that's the hint there. She's done commercials. She's done a lot of different things. And I think it'd be just a fun Masked Singer moment if they were to get Niecy under a mask. Ken said Nancy Kerrigan. Jenny said Tanya Harding. Nicole said Kathleen Turner. And by the way, Jenny said Tanya Harding as a joke. And then Robin said Suzanne Summon and Rachel Ray. Queen Cobra. There are trash bags and dollar bags, weapon. There's a picture of Bradley Cooper, a Batman coffee cup. 1990, and then she performed Good as Hell by Lizzo. I think this is the most talented singer of this group. I love Queen Cobra. But the funny thing is that there are multiple Cobras in the performance. I just think they were background singers, personally. Robin said Jada and Willow Smith. Jenny said Brandy and Monica. And Ken said Anne Hathaway. I have no clear clue who this is yet. Jack in the Box. They actually performed their song before they gave out the clue patch. Jack in the Box performed Bad to the Bone by George Thorogood and the Destroyers. There's a convertible, Red Flowers, Seasons. There's a judge. There were like wedding stuff. There was an Irish football, a spaceship, a wagon. Space Bunny went last. There was an office, a bee, a red handprint, energy drinks, basketball, and a dog. And this person performed Jump in the Line by Harry Belafonte. I think this is the greatest basketball player that's ever played the game. The GOAT. Michael Jordan. Basketball. There's a B. He owns the Hornets. Office. He's an owner. A red handprint. The Chicago Bulls wore red. The Wizards wore red, I think. Energy drinks. He's done energy drink commercials. Space Bunny. He was in Space Jam. Dog. Bulldog. Bulls. Chicago Bulls. So, I think this is definitely Michael Jordan. Nicole said LeBron. I get LeBron because he was in the newer Space Jam, doing energy drink commercials, basketball. Like, I get the LeBron thing. Damian Lillard, I get it. The red handprint, red. Portland Trailblazers are red. And Sean Paul would be a really, really fun Masked Singer get. But the thing with Sean Paul, his voice is so distinct. I would know right off the bat if it was Sean Paul. And who went home? The Jack in the Box. I thought this was Jim Caviezel, the actor, big Notre Dame fan. And that's what made me settle on him. Jenny thought it was Joe Pesci. Robin said it was Robert Duvall. Ken said Elon Musk. Nicole said Al Roker. And who was it? Former mayor of New York City, Rudy Giuliani. We went into last week on the show about how strongly I felt about the ending and how wrong it was. We don't have to get into that again because of the time. But at gunpoint, who do I think will go home tonight? This is a tough one. I think Mammoth and Cobra will survive. I think either Space Bunny or Prince goes home. And I think that Space Bunny's going to unmask and we'll be seeing the GOAT, Michael Jordan, on The Masked Singer, which would be absolutely unbelievable. All right, Survivor. Fun episode last week as it was really interesting reward challenge and immunity challenge. So the reward challenge, they divided it into random groups of 5 with one castaway having no chance at a reward. And the funny thing is that Marianne was the castaway initially, but Drea opted to sit out and have Marianne go. I think she did that to try to make a power move to try to get Marianne to get sent home. But that didn't work out. Spoiler alert. So the team members took turns jumping off the platform into the water before guarding a buoy on the rope through various obstacles and onto a platform. And then they were collected groups and they attempted to land all 5 buoys into a basketball target. And the first team to finish won the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and potato chips reward. Yeah, so the teams were Chanel, Jonathan, Mike, Roxroy, and Tori. That was the team that won the reward. And then the other team, it was Dre, Lindsay, Marianne, Omar, were on the other team. Or no, it wasn't Dre. Dre sat out. So it was Lindsay, Marianne, Omar, Haas, Lydia. Yeah. It's Haas and Lydia. And then obviously Dre sat out. And then immunity challenge, the castaways held a buoy by supporting it with 2 rods on a narrow platform. If the buoy fell or the castaway stepped off the perch, they'd be eliminated from the challenge. And then the last standing castaway won immunity. And then before the challenge, Chef negotiated with the tribe for 4 days' worth of rice in exchange for some castaways sitting out of the challenge. They eventually agreed on 4 castaways: Dre, Lindsay, Marianne, and Omar. And then the winner of immunity for the second week in a row was Tori, so she was safe. Then they go to tribal council. And Chanel went home. I mean, come on. That was so obvious that she was going home. I was not a fan of Chanel. It was either between her or Romeo. And High pushed for Romeo due to his paranoia leading him to consult several teammates. But Mike lobbied to oust Chanel. And then Tori voted off Chanel too. So it was 7-3-1 Chanel. So Dre voted Chanel, High voted Chanel, Jonathan voted Chanel, Lindsay voted Chanel, Mike voted Chanel, Roxroy voted Chanel, and Tori voted Chanel. So, and then Romeo Chanel voted Romeo, Omar voted Romeo, and Marianne voted Romeo. Because Marianne's friends with Chanel, that's why. And then Tori voted out. Or, I'm sorry, Romeo voted high. So, this upcoming episode is going to be good. I really, really think so. 2 are going home. And 2 win immunity. So, that's a little bit of a wild card here. So, it's going to go from 10 to 8. If you ask me who I think is going home this week, and by the way, Chanel is the first jury member, so don't forget that. And the tribe is called Kula Kula. So, who I think is going home? I think Romeo will go home. And I think that Tori's time has come. I like Tori a lot. She did a great job winning those immunity challenges. But I don't think she's going to win 3 in a row. And I think that the rest of the tribe is going to be fist pumping to finally get her off. And I like Tori too. I just feel bad. And I think Romeo is the other one that goes home. And Marianne survives another week. So that's my guess for who are the 2 that get voted off tonight on Survivor. All right, news and notes for today. Some interesting stuff, obviously. So no Alex Caruso. And no Zach LaVine for Chicago. So that number's 8.5 as my projection. And Vegas knew at the 12.5. They knew. So obviously John Moran has the game winner last night. And he says, effing call me. As he was trash talking after hitting that game winning shot. A lot of trash talking in this series. So Usher was at the game last night as he sat next to Ja Morant's dad, which is funny. So Charles Barkley and Kevin Durant are having a back and forth, which is iconic because this is just who Kevin Durant is. Charles Barkley called him a bus rider. And then they really went back and forth. So Kevin Durant responded, and then this is getting messy, and then so the inside the NBA crew reacted to KD responding, and then KD went back to that response, which is crazy. There's some speculation that Steve Nash may resign. I need to see it to believe it. I said multiple times I think Brooklyn's going to give him one more shot. If there is a move, I think that Nash will walk away rather than get fired. Frederick Anderson can miss the first few games of the postseason, which would not be great. Carolina really has a good team, and they could overcome it potentially. And the starter last night did a great job until the third period, and the Rangers kind of got back into that game and had a shot to tie it. Pyotr Kochetkov was the starter tonight. He's actually 3-0 on the year. But I don't know if the moment will be too big for him in the postseason or not. So Melvin Gordon staying in Denver, 1-year deal worth $5 million ahead of the draft. Zero chance the Raiders trade Darren Waller. Why would they? Just a silly report that they were talking with Green Bay. Deebo Samuel trade feels unlikely, as San Fran is not likely to deal him. So Joey Gallo hit his first homer of the year last night for the Yankees. The struggles have been well documented with the guests I've had on. The Yankees gave him the silent treatment, which was hilarious. The Yankees' letter was revealed from 2017, and the results of their 2017 sign stealing investigation says that the team used replay room to decide or to decode signs, but that's about it. But that was 2017 under Joe Girardi. I think that is kind of why the Yankees let him go. Now looking back, but they didn't want that out publicly at the time. DeAndre Holmes Wolford pleads guilty to felony charge after stealing father's Super Bowl and AFC Championship rings. That's just a sad situation. Hopefully, the father gets his stuff back. Mark Emmert will step down as president of the NCAA in 2023. So that was interesting news coming down yesterday, as the Board of Governors announces by mutual agreement. So this will take place in June of 2023. Bogdan Bogdanovic missed the game against the Heat last night due to knee soreness. And Jimmy Butler was out with right knee inflammation. Hopefully they better hope that Raptors Sixers goes 7. And Donovan Mitchell's MRI was negative, but there's optimism he will play Game 6 against the Mavs. And the last news and notes of the day is not sports-related. Kamala Harris tested positive for COVID-19. She's vaccinated and she's double boosted, which is wild. And she still ends up with it. So she must be asymptomatic then, because that's pretty crazy. All right, last but not least, my best bet of the day, brought to you by FanDuel. Tough one. Yesterday's best bet was a hit, as I went over 7 with the Tigers-Twins game, and it was at minus 118. The line went down after I bet it. I have extra money in my account because I noticed I hit a future. I took the Predators to make the playoffs before the season at plus 235. That was one of my best future hits I've had in a while. So just a humble brag about that. All right, so best bet. This is a harder one tonight. But I really, the Astros went up to minus 118. Somebody must have just banged it. But I'm going to go with the over in the Brewers-Pirates game. I don't feel good about it, but I just think that is super duper low. I think this could be at least be a 5-3 game. Don't feel super about it, but I'm going over 7.5 between the Pirates and the Brewers, 1 unit on it. All right, so that's it for the show today. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything, looking ahead to everything tomorrow. I'll do my final mock draft tomorrow. I'll be back later tonight with the draft preview podcast and do some bets and whatnot for the draft as well. I hope you guys have a great day, everyone.